What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we sent out a user research survey because we strongly believe that walking away from the customer experience to the technology is going to make a great product, and we got some interesting feedback. I'm going to walk you through them in a little bit, but before that I just want to run you through what we've been doing since the last uploaded video. My co-founder and I met up at a restaurant here in Port Harcourt to talk about the startup. We went over some important documents and structures that we actually wanted to create for the startup. What's up, everybody? I'm here with my co-founder, Timmy, and we talked about some beautiful things today. We talked about the app, the product, just really exciting stuff. So we get a beautiful website. We're going to zoom a little bit. The last time I made a video, I didn't really say anything about it because we hadn't built a website yet, because we don't want to lose the data.
Yeah.
We want, when you go there, you're gonna learn about everything we're working on, and then if you're interested in it, you'll put in your email address. So there's gonna be a wait list there. Yeah, a form for you to put in your email address and stuff like that. Do you want to share any?
We talked about our color palette.
We
talked about our typography, and we talked about a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We did.
Alright, so we're gonna be updating you with information. We're gonna put in videos out there.
Yeah.
We talked about the product, but on the surface level. Later that evening, we took the time to go through our PRD, and we had a meeting the next day to talk about a PRD in great detail. Talk about the broader visions. What are we gonna be rolling out in the first version? As much as you have the broader scope, like for instance, you got some awesome features that you look forward to having on the application. So we went over a couple of things. We talked about the different sections on the PRD and subsections as well. Things like onboarding screens to the dashboard screens as well. So we went through lots of things in great detail, because this is the point. This is the right place and right phase for you to actually go through this. You don't want to wait till development phase to start actually fine tuning stuff like that. It's not when you start developing, you start looking through all of these. So we had that meeting and it was actually very cool. All right, so we didn't have a logo at the time, and we wanted a professional to create our logo for us, so we reached out to one. So Timmy, my co-founder, was supposed to work on the mobile app design, the web app design and stuff like that. So I didn't want any friction. I was like, okay, whilst you're working on that, I'm gonna cook up a very simple website, just give people information about what we're doing. So you go on the website, you get information about what we're actually doing, what the startup is about, the products we're building. And if you go to the website as well, it's already done, so you could go there right now. Ofurunna.com, you'd be able to get access. If you put in your email, you'd be able to get early access when we actually launch. So while I was actually doing that, Timmy took some time to get some inspiration that she actually walked me through. Well, we realized something interesting, because as a team, we actually believe in excellence and speed. So we believe in doing something first excellently. In other words, we believe in doing something excellent the first time, and we wanted to learn some things about our users, about our customers, because we believe in the backward strategy that I talked about before. The customer experience, walking away from that backwards to the technology. So that for sure is going to make a great product, because you're literally using the feedback of the people that would be using the application, instead of you sitting in a room with engineers and just going through, what that feature will be nice, that feature will be nice, this will be slick, this will be cool, this will be awesome. Rather talk to the people that would actually be using the application, and then walk your way backwards from that customer experience you've gotten to the technology, and you're going to have a great product. So we believe in that. And so we prepared a user research survey, and we sent it out to a couple of people and got some feedback. I'm going to walk you through the feedback right now. All right, guys, so here's what we have. So the people that responded, they're around the ages of 22 to 25, majority of them, and then 26 to 30. So let's say 22 to 30, and then just only a small percentage is in the 31 to 35, and above 35 actually, it's even larger than that. Then this is for 18 to 21. Cool. So over here we got what best describes the current situation. All right, so here are the people that responded. Most of them are employed full-time. Okay, sorry, most of them are freelance or self-employed, and then it's a mix of all of these. Then a certain percentage student. All right, here, how would you honestly describe your relationship with tracking your money right now? This is an important part of the research. So some people say, I don't track at all, I just spend. That's the blue part. That's 20%. Then 58% said, I keep a rough idea in my head, nothing written down. This is great feedback. How often do you get to the end of the month unsure exactly where your money went? And sometimes, look at that, 25. Okay, the largest the largest for this survey, for this question particularly, the largest percentage here, 45%, 45.8 clearly says sometimes, and then even greater than rarely, 20%, 25% actually said almost every month. So almost every month and sometimes, then a very little percentage said never, so this is awesome feedback. Here we go. Would you rather an app do the tracking for you automatically, or would you want to be actively involved in logging things yourself? So let's see what we have here. Majority, so nobody actually selected I'd want to be actively involved even if it takes a bit of effort. That's quite interesting. Okay, let me see. A mix, automatic where possible, but I can step in when I need to. I like this one, and a lot of people actually selected that, so that makes sense. 25% said I'd want it fully automatic. I don't want to lift a finger. Cool. But I mean, majority. So some people say it, not sure yet. Another question goes, how would you prefer to log your income and expenses? Majority actually said a mix of both, depending on the moment and what we're talking about. First, type it in yourself, no bank linking. 8% said yeah to that. Use my voice to log it quickly. Oh, okay, cool. We can see that part there. And then this guy said a mix of both. Okay, cool. I like that. I'd rather it linked to my bank automatically. 25% say that. Well, okay. Not gonna say much right now because we got some interesting features coming up, but at least let's just focus on the MVP, at least the first rollout, the first version. I don't think I'd log expenses at all. No, everyone's been cooperative. Would you find it useful to receive a monthly summary of your finances written in plain friendly language, not a chart? Yes, absolutely. I like that. 83% said yes. Absolutely. Of course, that's a wonderful feature. Some people said not sure. No one said probably not. No, I prefer charts. These must be nerds, You know what I mean? All right, so some people said not sure. Probably yes, and yes. It's kind of like it's same thing. All right, here's another question, an interesting one. If an app told you that you spent 55,000 naira on food last month, how would you want to say that? And here, majority actually said, give me context, like what that adds up to yearly. Then the next said, tell me what I could do differently next month. You see that? And then the blue said, just show me the number, no comments. All right, so based on what you've read, how likely are you to try Notify when it launches? So let's check these out. What is this? This says this is number 4, which is very likely, and the most percentage actually say that, and people said like a small count said maybe. Then another percentage said I want this now. That's a good one. All right, here we go. Would you like to be among the first people to use Notify? Of course, yes. All right, we're gonna revisit our PRD based on the feedback we've gotten, and if we need to make any adjustments, we're gonna do that at least for the MVP stage, because we're not just gonna use only this research data. We've got all the phases. For instance, the beta user should be able to give us feedback during that phase, and this other phases as well. So this research is important right now for this stage, and we're gonna make adjustments where necessary. And yeah, so what we're doing right now is currently we're designing. I'm literally just walking you through this in real time, but no real time. At least I'm just at least it's very close. Yeah, so yep, we're designing, and after that development is going to start ASAP. And amongst all the things that's going on as a startup, doing this and that, probably in another video I'm going to talk about what else. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Here's the best part of the video. If you want to get early access when we launch, go to the website right now, finotify.com, and put in your email, and you're going to get early access to the application when we launch. All right, thank you everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cheers. Peace.